What's up? Welcome back to another fun video on surface area, and soon we'll be getting to volume. So today we're going to be talking about the surface area of spheres. Now, the boring way that I could teach you about this is to just tell you what the formula is, but the fun way that we're going to do it is using a cutie. So if you have a cutie at home, go ahead and grab it, or if you have an orange or any other fruit that has a peel that you can peel off with your hands, go ahead and grab it. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and lean the screen down. What you're gonna do is you're gonna need a marker and a plain piece of paper, and you're going to put your orange or your cutie or like whatever fruit you're using down, and you're going to just trace the outline. Let's do 4 circles. So I've got 1, 2, 3. Whoops, that's not perfect. That's okay. 4, and then let's do another one. 5. Okay, so your paper should look something like this. So my circles aren't perfect, that's okay. And then what you're gonna start doing is taking your orange peel and then peeling off pieces and filling in those circles. So for example, here's this piece, and I'm just gonna start lining the circle here. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and hit pause on this and peel the rest of this. All right, so we're back. So my little cutie is unpeeled. Thank you to Jan. And I've got the last piece here, and I'm gonna need you to just dump this a little more or bend it. And that little piece is gonna cover that last circle there. So let me see if I can bring this closer for you all to see. So there we go. So I had originally 5 circles drawn. My peel covered a total of 4 circles. So if we're trying to find the surface area of a sphere, I know that the surface area, or I know to find the area of a circle, it's pi r squared, written right here. And since I filled up 4 circles, I'm going to take the area of the circle and multiply it by 4. And that's your surface area. And I see right now it's coming up upside down and backwards on there. So we're just going to go ahead and get started with our notes here. All right, guys, so go ahead and take out your notes. Let me just move this over here. And your notes are the ones that look just like this. It's got warm up and it says day 60 over here, even though we're on day 5. This is what your warm up looks like, and we're just going to skip that. And we're just going to go ahead and flip the page. We're going to start doing these core practice problems. So I'm going to go ahead and peace out over here. So we know that the surface, or how to find the area of a circle, is pi r squared, and my orange peel needed or did fill up 4 of those circles. So let's go ahead and do these practice problems. These first 4 are just going to be some core level practice. So again, I just like to write my formula down, 4 pi r squared, so 4 pi. The radius of this sphere is 2, so I'm going to plug that in. And we do order of operations. So I've got 4 pi, 2 squared is 4, 4 times 4 is 16 pi. So the surface area of that sphere is 16 pi. Now in the next one, they give you, well, on your notes, it tells you that this diameter, we're going to just ignore this here. In your notes, it tells you that that diameter is 18 inches, okay? Which means that the radius is going to be 9, so same thing, 4 pi and then 9 squared. 4 pi, 9 squared is 81, 4 times 81 is 324 pi, and so that's the surface area of that one. Okay, so now let's go ahead and do this next one. This one's not on your notes, but we're going to do it anyway because it's good practice. So this is half the sphere, right? So I'm going to do half of 4 pi r squared. Now, half of 4 is 2, so I can just simplify that down to 2 pi r squared. All right, now let's plug that in. So that's 2 pi and then 15 squared. 15 squared is 225 times 2 is 450 pi. So I've got 450 pi, but guys, 450 pi is just this part of the sphere, okay? It's like the circular 3D part. We need to add that circle on top. So I need to actually add pi r squared, and it's going to be the same radius. So it's 450 pi plus pi and then 15 squared. So 450 pi plus 225 pi, and that gets you 675 pi. Okay, because you might get something like that on your homework. So don't forget, you need to find you need to take half of the surface area of a sphere and then add that circle on top that you cut out. Okay, and so then the rest of this I think is going to be the same. So find the radius of a sphere with a surface area of 36 pi. So here we're just working backwards, okay? So we're going to do 36 pi, set that equal to the formula for the surface area of a sphere. We're going to divide both sides by 4 pi. Divide by 4 pi. 36 divided by 4 is going to be 9 equals r squared. Take the square root of both sides, and that gets us 3. So the radius is 3. Okay. Number 3 is going to be similar. So we know that the surface area is 81 pi. We're going to set that equal to 4 pi r squared. Sorry, I almost forgot the squared. Divide both sides by 4 pi. Divide both sides by 4 pi. And I'm left with 20.25 equals r squared. Take the square root, and we're left with a radius of 4.5, but they're asking us for the diameter, so that means I'm going to need to multiply my radius by 2. So my diameter is 9 yards. Okay. All right, let's go ahead and do 4. So I've got a sphere on top, a half sphere on top, and then the cone on the bottom, and it looks like an ice cream cone. So if I'm looking for the total surface areas of that first part, we're going to take half of the surface area of a sphere, and I'm going to add it to the lateral surface area of a cone. Okay, so I'm going to do 1/2 4 pi r squared plus the lateral surface area of a cone is pi r l. Now, I don't know what the slant height is here, so I can do Pythagorean theorem, and that's going to be 9 squared plus 18 squared, and this gets us that's so annoying. And that gets us 405, but we got to take the square root, so square root of 405. And if we simplify that radical, that's going to give us 9 radical 5. So that's going to be your slant height. All right, let's go ahead and plug this stuff in. So I've got 1/2 4. Well, I'm going to go ahead and take 1/2 of 4, and that'll get us 2 pi. I know the radius is 9, so I'm going to do 9 squared plus pi, radius is 9, and then the slant height is 9 root 5. Let's go ahead and multiply that out. So 2 times 9 squared is 81, so that gets me a grand total of 162 pi plus 9 times 9, because I'm going to multiply this 9 and this 9, that's 81 root 5 pi, and I cannot combine that further, so this is going to be my final answer. Okay, let's go on to the next one. Over here, I've got 2 half spheres, and they're sitting on the top and the bottom of a cylinder. So if I've got 2 halves of a sphere, I've really got the surface area of the whole sphere plus the lateral surface area of that cylinder there. So I'm going to take 4 pi r squared. It looks like a V. And I'm going to add it to the lateral surface area. So that's 2 pi r h of the cylinder. And then it's just kind of plug and chug from there. So that becomes 4 pi. The radius is 6 squared plus 2 pi. Radius is still 6. The height of that cylinder is 11. This is your height, okay? And then from there, we're just going to go ahead and multiply. So the 6 squared is 36. 36 times 4, that becomes 144. So I have 144 pi. Plus 2 times 6 times 11 is 132 pi. Add those two things together because they are like terms, and the total surface area of this figure is 276 pi. All right, guys, let's go on to the back. I'm going to hit pause, and what I want you guys to do is to first write out a plan for both of these. Okay, welcome back. So for your plan / your hint, this is what you should have written down, okay? We're going to take half for number 5. We're going to take half the surface area of a sphere, okay, because we're taking this whole outside part, we're going to add that in. And then a cone was carved out, so we have to add the surface area of that cone inside, okay, because that's now stuff that you can go in and touch with your hand, okay. Now, where those 9s are coming from is I know that the diameter is 18, so that means the radius is 9. Remember, a radius is drawn from the center of a sphere to any point on the outside of the sphere. So that's where I got this 9 from and this 9 from, okay? Because both of these are drawn from the center. From there, we can see that it's a 45, 45, 90 right triangle because, again, these two lengths are the same. I can reach for that ratio, and that'll mean that it's going to be, that slant height of the cone is 9 root 2. For number 6, your plan should be that you are adding the lateral surface area of this cone here, plus the lateral surface area of the cylinder, plus half the surface area of the sphere on the end. Okay, so that should be your plan. Now, I'm going to hit pause, or you should hit pause, and you should go ahead and figure out the surface areas of both of these. And then when you come back, I'll have the worked out solutions. All right, welcome back, guys. So here are the worked out solutions. Again, this 9 root 2 is your slant height. Okay, so I'm taking half the surface area of a sphere. So that's 1/2 times 4 pi r squared. And I'm adding it to the lateral surface area of the cone that I cut out. So plus pi r times the slant height. And then I just plug everything in. So I'm plugging in 9 in for the radius. Where I got this 2 from is from multiplying 1/2 and the 4, and that's what got me this 2 right here. Okay. And then over here for the slant height, when I do 9 times 9 root 2, I get 81 root 2 times pi. And so your final answer is going to be what I boxed over here because, and I can't combine those anymore because they're not like terms. On the bottom though, so here was our plan. Okay. Here are all the formulas that I'm using. So here's the lateral surface area of the cone. This is the lateral surface area of the cylinder, plus half the surface area of a sphere. Okay, and then I'm just plugging in numbers. 6 is the radius, okay, because that's half of 12, and the slant height is 10, and that's given to me. The radius is going to be the same for your cylinder. The height of that cylinder is 20, and that's right here. Okay, and then again, the radius for the sphere, that's going to be the same because, I mean, they're on the same figure. And so 6 goes here. Multiply all that out, and this is your final total surface area. Alrighty, guys, if you like this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment down below, and go check out my new TikTok. Okay, bye. See you. Have a good day.